Hello and welcome to the RA facility for Hawaiian Night. I'm Spencer Mills, joined by Stephen Shega. And oh my, it looks like a good matchup tonight. SMSU versus Winona State. And last time, Winona State got the better of SMSU.
Yeah, they sure did. And this time around, you know, it's going to be a great game. Winona State is ranked 25th, so it's definitely going to be a tough test. But as we saw here earlier in the women's game, the crowd is out in full force here on Hawaiian Night, ready to support their team and cheer them on to a victory. The Mustangs coming off a 74-55 victory last night over Upper Iowa. And one thing that you want to point out from that is that they were able to rest their starters for the last 4 minutes of the game. So this is a team that should be well rested and ready to go tonight.
And another big thing is the women. The women just beat Winona State. And you got to look at the men to come out here and have a strong showing and come out strong early, which is what they've been doing all year. It's been showing that they have a lot of strengths early, but really one of the biggest factors to them winning games has been their ability to close out. And they've had a little bit of trouble in that. And their 5 losses this year to NSIC opponents, they've all been leading. That SMSU has been leading in the last 3 minutes of all those games. And so you have to look at them to close out tonight.
Yeah, and you know, last night we were talking about that as well, because it is true they absolutely have to close out. They've been playing well except in final moments, but last night they were up by over 30 with a few minutes left, so they definitely closed out well last night, and I know that they're hoping that they can go ahead and carry that over into this evening.
Yeah, and one of the big things that I think I've really talked about with a lot of people this season is they have mostly the same cast. I mean, they have a lot of the same seniors that were juniors last year, but most of their team has stayed together. This isn't like a rebuilding year, so you have to wonder why the record is so close to 500. And I honestly think it might be because of the loss of Casey Susangoof, because their down low presence has been what's been hurting them in big games. Opponent centers have really taken advantage of only having Nick Smith down low, and Nick Smith has a tendency to get into foul trouble, and honestly, he can't do that tonight against Winona. They're way too powerful, they're way too strong down low for them to get into foul trouble.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Foul trouble is going to be a big part of it, and when you're starting Nick Smith and then basically 4 guards in the backcourt, yeah, you can definitely be taken advantage of down low. And another way you can see it is that SMSU has been out-rebounded in 10 of their 19 games this season, which brings me into my point for the night. Every game we have a little Shega Says session, and this one is no different. Again, they've been out-rebounded in 10 of their 19 games, so it's kind of a two-parter. But if they out-rebound Winona State tonight, I will say they will win. But again, keeping in mind that they need to close out as they've had so much difficulty doing. But still, if they win the rebounding battle, I do believe they are going to win the game this evening. One person you're going to want to keep your eye out for on Winona State is going to be Clayton Vett. He's averaging nearly a double-double. He's netting 19.5 points and 8.4 rebounds a game. He's a senior. He is 70, excuse me, not 70. That's ridiculous. 7 double-doubles this season. And he has 20 double-doubles in his Winona State career. So keep an eye out for him. Absolutely. He's number 44, Clayton Vett, again, for Winona State. He is going to be a player to watch.
Right. And he's got a powerful game down low, but I honestly think as long as Nick Smith can stay out of foul trouble, if there is any man on this SMSU team who's going to be able to defend him, it's going to be Nick Smith.
Absolutely. And last night we actually did see a lot more of David Condon than we'd seen at all in the season. He basically tripled his minutes last night. He's 6'10", so they are obviously aware that height is something they need to get a little bit more of so that they can go ahead and get some rebounds. So it should be a really interesting game tonight.
Right. And they weren't letting David Condon play a lot of games early, but I think Brad Bigler, he's a very smart coach is the thing. He's all about strategy, all about letting everybody get minutes, and David Condon needed those minutes. So we have a great game tonight here in the RA facility, and we'll be right back. I swear we will. We'll be right back with the game. SMSU versus Winona State here at the RA facility for Mustang basketball. This is KSSU.
American Hero.
I want to help people. I want
want to make a difference. I want to get things done. Could I be a hero?
She had to apply.
I should give this a try.
There she met people who shared her passion, people who wanted to make change, people who joined AmeriCorps. They cleaned beaches, they helped wildlife. Together they served, together they made a difference.
Together they were heroes.
In AmeriCorps, you can be a hero too.
Join AmeriCorps.
Ladies, are you talking to your partners
about HIV?
2 out of every 3 new HIV/AIDS cases in women are among Black women.
Get informed, get tested. Early detection can save your life. If you test positive, seek treatment from a doctor.
Join the campaign to end Black AIDS, a partnership between Abbott and the Magic Johnson Foundation. Go to WeStandWithMagic.com, get resources, and become a member.
And join today, and thank you.
Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it came to immunizations, I wanted the facts. So I carefully researched vaccines, talking to pediatricians and other experts and asking tough questions. The answer was obvious. Vaccines like those against measles and influenza are not only a good idea, they could save our daughter's life. Take the time to get the facts. Vaccines save lives.
We all have a vision of that perfect smile. But when it comes to our smile, it's not something we can draw or wait to miraculously appear. We need an orthodontist, dental specialists with 2 to 3 years of specialized education beyond dental school. Your child might be the next Picasso, so trust that brilliant smile to the right hands. Seeing an orthodontist no later than age 7 can help achieve a healthy, beautiful smile. For more information, visit braces.org.
You can eradicate polio. You can promote peace. You can feed the hungry. You can help children do better in school. Because you can get involved with Rotary. Because Rotary believes that by working together, you can do anything. Learn more at Rotary.org.
At Southwest Minnesota State University, our students come first. It's a commitment you can see in our new Regional Events Center, Residence Hall, Student Center, and Science Lab renovation. We've invested over $80 million in the past decade for top-notch facilities. And we're not stopping there. Southwest Minnesota State University, it's where you belong.
Welcome back to the RA facility, and after a rousing national anthem by both the crowd and our featured singer tonight, we will be ready for our starting lineups right now. We'll start with Winona State at guard, 6'7" guard in fact. Kellen Taylor, number 1. At number 5, Xavier Humphrey will be playing guard at 6'2". He's a senior. At number 24, Caleb Palkart at forward. He's a 6'9" senior. At number 30, Taylor Cameron will be playing a guard at 6'5", junior. And finally, Clayton Vett, their star player, number 44 at center. He's a 6'9" senior and is ready to score some points tonight for Winona. But for Southwest Minnesota State University, we have at number 2, Tremel Barnes. He's a guard. He's 6'1", senior. At number 12, we have Bernard Birch. He's also a guard at 5'11", and he is a junior. And senior, number 13, Jordan Miller, looking to score some big points for the Mustangs starting tonight, as well as Matt Zager, number 24. He's a junior guard. And finally, Nick Smith, who is also a junior. He's number 44, center. So looking to be a big matchup tonight, as both teams high hopes for this year. Winona got the best of SMSU, and they're going to be looking for a big comeback tonight.
You know, we talked about this earlier in pregame as well, but SMSU, I think, is a better team than the record indicates. They haven't been able to close out very well all year, which obviously is important, but I mean, when you're leading in so many of your games, you're obviously a talented team with the ability to do well, and after last night's win against Upper Iowa, they have a lot of momentum, and with this crowd here that is just jam-packed in the student section, it is going to be a great game with a great atmosphere for SMSU.
And really, I've heard a lot of talk from Bigler, Coach Bigler, and honestly what he thinks is his team seems like they feel a little bit entitled to greatness, and you have to earn it. Last year, they were the best team in the NSIC, and I feel like a lot of their starters who are returning feel like they deserve to be that good, but you have to earn it. And in the closing minutes of games, they haven't been earning it. In fact, in their 9 losses this year, in 6 of them, they have been leading at the 5-minute mark.
Yep.
And 5 of their losses to NSIC opponents, they've been leading within the 3-minute mark. So you really have to be able to close out games and not forget that you are playing some really good teams here in the NSIC, some of the best in the country.
Well, you know, like we said here, this is a very, very good team. They're ranked 25th in the country. They're 17-3. So, I mean, they've been winning. That's all they've been doing is winning. 11-2 in the NSIC. So this is, no doubt about it, going to be a huge, huge test for the Mustangs. We'll see if they're up to the challenge.
Absolutely. And the Mustangs, as we go to tip the ball off, one last stat for you. The Mustangs have actually not beat Winona, and I believe it's their last 11 games. So this will be a big deal if the Mustangs can win here at Hawaiian Night with all the school spirit behind them.
Refs kept kicking off a little bit of debris from the court before we get started here. Fans, I don't know, get a little rowdy with their popcorn, but the fans are being helpful, picking it up for them here. High fives all around from the people that picked it up, and we are ready to go.
Absolutely. Can't forget the fans tonight. They're also a big factor. Hope they can keep cheering for the Mustangs, whether they're doing well or doing poorly. It's always a huge deal here in the RA facility. As we go to tip it off, Nick Smith on the jump versus number 24, Caleb Palkert, and it'll go to Winona. Winona will bring the ball up first, guarded by Bernard Birch as they look to set up, working the ball around up top. They try to move it inside, and that ball will go into Palkert, who will get their first points of the night.
Yeah, that's about as easy as you can make it look right off the bat. Now, the Mustangs are playing very, very well defensively this year. They have not allowed any team they've played to shoot over 50% against them. So look for some really strong defense once again from the Mustangs this evening.
And it'll really come to their offense as they nearly get the ball stolen away. Palkert playing some really good defense starting off tonight. And Bernard Birch will try to set up the offense as we have 7 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll try to put a shot up. Really contested there. Had a tough shot. Tried to get something to go. And we come back the other way, and there will be a foul on the play.
Something else that you can go ahead and look for tonight as well is last night. Well, there's a little bit of a block party here. 10 blocks for the Mustangs last night in a game. They only averaged 3 a game. So let's see if that trend can continue here to protect the paint here in their home court.
And honestly, most of their blocks, almost all the blocks for the Mustangs always come from Nick Smith.
Nick Smith had 5 last night.
Exactly. So look for Nick Smith to be a defensive juggernaut out there.
And you know, you weren't here last night, but guess who had the second most blocks in the team last night?
Who had it?
Guess.
Jordan Miller.
Wrong.
Really?
Guess again.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna say.
Who do you not expect?
Will Giddings.
Nope. Bernard Birch.
Bernard
3 blocks last night.
NSIC Defensive Player of the Year last year, so really not as surprising as you think, but usually you look for him to get steals instead of blocks.
Exactly. Taking it to the hoop early, almost turned it over there.
Yeah, Matt Zager almost turning it over. Jamel Barnes missing the shot after coming off a great road weekend last weekend, scoring his season high 14 points last weekend. Bernard Birch looking to reset up the play, and it gets stolen away. Palkert playing a heck of a game early on.
First turnover of the game for the Mustangs.
Mustangs struggling to put points on the board right now as Winona leads 4-0 with 18 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. And Winona's trying to set up a play up top. A shot from the key. And Kellen Taylor will pick up the points for Winona. 6-0 to start their game. And Bernard Birch will look to set something up. Zager trying to drive. And there'll be a foul called. Looks like it's going to go against Winona. And that'll go against Kellen Taylor.
Yeah, with not even 2 minutes in the game now, there's going to be some substitutions. Let's see here. Who do we have? We have Will Giddings. And we have Lavion West.
Of course, David Condon, who has been seeing some good minutes here at the RA facility.
Yeah, well, he's put in there to get some height against Clayton Vett, their leading scorer.
And absolutely no fear by Jordan Miller, who puts the Mustangs on the board and drops a 3.
You know what's in common with number 13 and many of the people here in the crowd? Looks like it's Miller time.
Absolutely, here on Hawaiian Night, anything can happen, and the ball goes out of bounds for Winona. So it looks like we'll get the ball back for SMSU. William Giddings looking to make a play here in the corner, trying to drive on. And Barnes will take the ball out as a really errant pass will go. And
speaking
Packard,
of errant passes.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of another errant pass.
There's 2 for you.
Caleb Packard playing some great D, but turns it right back over to the Mustangs as David Condon picks up the random pass.
Keep an eye on Giddings here, too, if he gets the ball. He really had the hot hand last night. He was able to shoot from 3 quite effectively.
Giddings actually has the #1 3-point percentage here in the NSIC this year.
Yeah, so he's become just a great shooter this year.
And it's really different. And there's a foul down low.
52%, by the way, for Will Giddings, just for the stats. When you're making over half of your 3-point shots, you should probably take them quite often.
And it's really different from what we saw at the beginning of his career. He was not really a 3-point shooter, but he really worked over it. And last year, he became a pretty big force, shooting over 40% from the 3-point line, and this year over 50, as you already said. And Clayton Vett getting his points in tonight. Drew a foul down low, and he'll go to the line, misses first. Looking to try to pick up his first points of the night here. And he'll make his second. So Winona State leading the Mustangs 7-3 with 16 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock.
Only 1 made shot so far for the Mustangs, the 3 by Jordan Miller earlier in the game.
And the Mustangs will have to look to the rest of their players to try to get some points, as they do like to spread out the points. And Lavion West absolutely rejected as he tries to take the ball in, and Carmelo Barnes missing his shot as well, starting cold from the field.
Yeah, right now only shooting 16% from the field are the Mustangs.
And Winona look to try to set up the play, and Vett nearly gets the ball stolen, but he gets it back out, and there will be a 3 launched. Xavier Humphrey, and he'll be off by
that was
just
right on line, just a little bit long.
And Miller will bring the ball up for the Mustangs, looking for someone to pass to. West looked at the 3, but wasn't feeling it. Miller, of course, is feeling it, and just a little off the money. And Winona State will pick up the rebound. And they'll come right back, and that'll be a nice layup off the fast break by number 30, Taylor Cameron.
9-3 off to an early lead here for the Warriors.
This has been the Mustangs' problem. They've had a little bit of problem shooting this year, which absolutely wasn't their problem last year. Honestly, it might be coming from a coaching standpoint, maybe. Bigler has decided to do a little bit less substitutions this year. Last year, he was all about switching. And Giddings hits a big 3 right in the face of his defender, Kellen Taylor. Absolutely no fear from Giddings, as he shows us why he's such a great 3-point shooter.
Yeah, well, we told him he's shooting 52%, so he was aggressive last night. It looks like he's just picking up right where he left off.
And Kellen Taylor coming back for Winona State. And here's the shot from the 3, and that'll be off by Taylor Cameron as the Mustangs take the ball back up the court.
Ooh. Sniffing the armpit of Nick Smith there for a moment.
Jordan Miller getting a little lost, and he throws the ball away, trying to go to Giddings. Winona State will have the ball.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy game here so far for both teams. 3 turnovers already for SMSU, 2 for Winona State.
And both teams are playing pretty solid defense, but having a little bit trouble finding the basket as they keep turning it over here.
Yeah, the difference in the game so far is that Winona State 3 of 5, SMSU only 2 of 8 from the field.
Yeah, Winona State will have the ball up top. as they try to find an opening in the Mustang defense. Powerful defense this year. Really keeping their opponents to a low shooting percentage and trying to keep it up so far, as Winona's had a pretty solid shooting percentage to start the game. And Vet will shoot a shot outside. The big man not afraid to shoot a three, and he'll knock it down.
Yeah, we said he's the person you got to keep an eye on, number 44 there, Clayton Vet, and he's having a pretty good game so far. 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and only 6 minutes of play.
Oh my! Bernard Birch getting fancy out there, a little circus delay as he lays it in off the spin move.
Say a circus delay or circus
delay?
Okay, I see.
Trying a little bit of fancy words there to go with the fancy shot.
And the fancy shirts we see out in the crowd too, a lot of Hawaiian shirts.
We can't forget the fans out here really coming to support their team. And so far, maybe not as much cheering as we'd like as SMSU fans, but you know, we have to look for the SMSU to put some points on the board and get these fans going. And that might do it. Lavion West hitting a tough jumper, but that's his shot, and he's not afraid to hit it.
No, he's definitely not. Lavion West, he's someone we saw last night too. That's a part of his game he's developed. He's able to take that jump shot and make it with fairly consistency. And
the radio voice of the Mustangs, Aaron Zemer, actually calls Lavion West the most athletic player in the NSIC. I mean, that's something you can argue, but he definitely does have the body for basketball.
Well, it's Hawaiian Night. I would say we're going to probably get at least one big dunk from him in this game.
Absolutely. And Nick Smith with a fancy layup. No fear, moving straight into all the Winona defenders down low, and lays it up for the Mustangs to tie the game at 12 with 12 minutes and 36 seconds to go. As Winona tries to come back in, a fancy pass. Clayton Vet, and that'll be no good. As the Mustangs try to dribble it back up. Mustangs looking to set something up, trying to get the ball to Bernard Birch, but they find Zager in the corner. He puts it down low as Nick Smith tries to back down his man and puts up a wild shot, but it's no good, but Bernard Birch picks up the rebound.
That rolled in and out there, trying to get things going down low for the Mustangs.
And the Mustangs, a very good shooting team from outside, but they really have to try to get the points inside against this Winona State team, and Nick Smith cannot handle the pass, as we'll have some substitutions. Matt Zager will come in, as well as Tramel Barnes and Jordan Miller.
The crowd enjoying themselves here. Have some balloons they're tossing around.
Just have to hope they don't go on the court. The public safety kind of looking on, waiting to snag anything that's coming close.
It was funny, between the women's game and the men's game, public safety was over high-fiving some of the fans and maybe trying to win them over in hopes they'd behave here during the men's game.
I mean, Mustangs fans really look to behave, but they can only do so much. And there's a big shot to number 55, Jordan Fisher, showing that no matter how tall you are, you can still hit threes.
Yeah, Winona State now shooting 40% from beyond the arc and 50% from the field. That made shot.
Bernard Birch showing off his handles as we got a three to Matt Zager in the corner, and he's no good, so Winona will come back up the floor.
Yeah, and right there, that was number 40 for the Mustangs. That was David Condon. He had the rebound. He just let it go right through his hands, so got to hang on to those ones.
And sometimes that's just youth showing. Players who haven't played very long, you really have to get the ball tucked into your chest, and he kind of left it out there to be swatted away.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played too much, and it's such a big night like tonight. You know, probably a little nerves.
Right, that's just experience, or inexperience showing. And there's a shot by number 14, Xander Culver, and that'll be off. The Winona State gets it back outside, and that's way off, hitting the side of the backboard almost. Yeah. Jordan Fisher shows that he can, in fact, miss.
It's almost worse than an air ball.
And Zager will try to cut in, and he'll try to get a pass off. That's a big block.
That was a big boy block. He had his big boy pants on for that one.
Clayton Vet said, "No, sir, you're not coming in my lane." And there's a big play. Matt Zager showing that even when he gets blocked, he's not afraid to come right back in the lane and puts up the two that he's been known to do for the Mustangs.
Yeah, you like to see that. You know, he gets blocked, not afraid to go back in and try again.
And Zager, his first 2 years here at SMSU, he's really known for his shooting. Oh, and speaking of shooting, number 2, Grant Johnson puts up a nice jumper, fading away as they take the lead 17-14 over SMSU. But Matt Zagers really was known for his three-point shooting, but in the last 2 years, he's really been a slice and dicer and really been able to get in the lane. And Bernard Bird showing he can get in the lane as well. David Condon taking his first shot of the night. Blocked. And that's just Caleb Palkert showing that he has his great defensive plays down low. He's already forced 2 steals, and he's got a block right there tonight as well. And there will be a foul down low. Jordan Miller looks a little bit shaken up. And we'll have a timeout, so we'll take the break as well. The score is 17-14 with Winona State on top for Mustang basketball. This is KSSU.
They say America's the land of opportunity. But today, 1 out of every 6 children lives without enough. That's nearly 13 million of us living below the poverty line, struggling every day just to hang on. This is America. Together, we can do so much. Will you help? Go to povertyusa.org today and get involved.
Welcome back to the RA facility where the score is 17-14 with Winona State on top of SMSU. Great game so far. A really defensive effort showing on Winona State's side. Mustangs, honestly, most of their points have come from big three-pointers and from long-range shots. Really haven't been able to drive it inside, and I think the #1 reason is Caleb Palkart in his defense tonight.
Yeah, he's really playing well. He's been a force for them.
He's really putting up some stats tonight.
Yeah, he already has 2 blocks and 2 steals here in just 8 minutes of play, so he's definitely being very active on defense.
And really, the Mustangs, what they need to do if they want to come back, they need to turn on the defensive effort. The points will come, but they're known for their defense, and that's really what they got to do tonight.
Yeah, like we said, they haven't allowed an opponent to shoot over 50% so far this season. So right now they're holding Winona State to 43%. They just need to get going a little bit more here offensively, and they'll be all right.
And Winona State trying to find a shot, looking like they're trying to move the ball inside, but they'll take a forced jumper outside, and that'll be off by Grant Johnson as SMSU tries to bring it back down the floor. Tramel Barnes looking to run. Oh, and a pretty reverse layup. Lavion West shows off his talents down low.
Yeah, shows off his pearly whites there too with a big smile after the reverse layup and one. That is an impressive play. You said Aaron Zemer, voice of the Mustangs, calls him the most athletic player, and wow, we saw a glimpse of that there.
And the big thing was, it almost looked like a Michael Jordan play. It looked like he was going to try to dunk it on the left side. Thought that he might get blocked, brought it back down, and did the pretty reverse layup as he was falling down. Great shot by Lavion West, and he'll hit the layup to make it 3.
I taught him that right before the game, too. So.
Yeah, everybody, Stephen Shega showing off his skills before the game.
Oh, Nick Smith.
There's a big block. Nick Smith showing off his defensive
Yeah, he's
power.
picking up right where he left off last night.
And there will be some points for Clayton Vetty, showing that he is not going to be denied tonight. And Tramel Barnes trying to find something on the wing. Giddings coming in for the layup. Fancy layup, but it's no good. He thought he was hit on the head, but no call as Winona tries to bring it back. And there's a big layup. The number 30, Taylor Cameron, he's having a heck of a night tonight. 4 points as well as a great defensive effort.
And after some early jitters from both teams, they're both playing pretty well right now. Just a lot of back and forth.
And Nick Smith with the ball down low, trying to work it back outside to their 3-point shooters, but they go back in to Nick Smith. He's being double covered down low.
And they're trying to make Barnes shoot it.
Yep, and that's a rough looking shot. It was kind of forced by Lavion West, but it'll be no good as Winona comes back the other way. Giddings with the kick.
You're right. It was kind of an ill-advised shot by Lavion West, but when he went up, there was some contact there. I didn't get the call, though, at this point.
And Winona doing a pretty good job of keeping their hands up, keeping their bodies straight. Lavion, I think he was just a little excited from his last fancy play, and he just, he wanted another one.
Yep.
Oh, and there's a big steal as the shot was deflected by Nick Smith. Tremel Barnes will pick up the errant shot. And there's a crossover as Gidding goes in and lays it back to Nick Smith, who will miss the easy layup.
Yeah, we've seen that now at least twice from Nick Smith, where he's just missed an easy layup. He's only 1 for 3 right now, and I tell you what, those other 2 shots he missed, he should have made. Those are gimmies. He just got maybe a little excited right around the rim, and I guess we did get your shot blocked twice though by an inside presence. It kind of makes you think twice before putting it up.
And Nick Smith, he's always been a great offensive weapon, but in the last year he's really struggled with his shooting. I mean, he has had some good nights for SMSU, but one of the things that he's always been able to do is make free throws, which you can really show see in his shooting touch. He shot almost 78% from the field last year, but this year he's really struggled from the line, and it seems like he's also struggling from the field in some games where he really needs to put the points in when he has easy baskets.
Yeah, watching him this season and last season too, he seems like a player to me where he's kind of a player that you can easily frustrate right away. If he doesn't get off to a great start, he can get a little frustrated and kind of lag on defense. So Mustangs are going to want him to just, try to keep his attitude in here and see if he can hang in.
And Clayton Vetty, not to be denied, gets fouled down low. And sometimes that's the only way you can defend a player who's a lot bigger, and he's going to get his points. You cannot deny Clayton Vetty his points tonight. And you really just have to try to contain him rather than stop him.
Yeah, well, he averages 19.5 a game. He's already at 6 right now, and so he's off to a good start. But just got to keep containing him, and again, you just got to body him up. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised to see if Mustangs just kind of double team him later on in the game, especially make some other players try to work for it.
Right, and he is really a center,
a
power forward. But he has that shooting guard mentality where he's not afraid to shoot any shot. He has no conscience. Really reminds me of a Jordan Miller type of player.
Yeah, he's a 6'9" guy, and the only player on another team who's taller is David Condon, who right now is in the game trying to defend him.
Speaking of David Condon, gets the ball stolen away from him. And Clayton Vetty steals the ball away, goes coast to coast, puts up the and one.
Well, what were you just saying about Clayton Vetty with the shooting guard mentality? How many big guys do you see do that?
Not a lot of big guys. I mean, he's got that Pau Gasol kind of handles where he's a huge guy, a big guy, but he can actually dribble the ball. And he can dribble the ball quite quickly, as you saw him get up the floor. That fast break, though, you could say it was David Condon, but it really, I think it was a lapse of judgment on Bernard Birch's part.
Yeah, you're right. In the game now, Mustangs are down by 9 early on, so got to see if they can chip away at this a little bit before halftime.
And that's a crazy-looking shot. Lavion West tries to put it up, and David Condon can't come down with the rebound.
And David Condon went up and just kind of tried to grab it with one hand. He's got to go up with 2 and really try to, like you said, pull it down and keep it to his chest, because he's had 2 or 3 of those now where he should have had it and just kind of let it go through his hands.
And honestly, I think a lot of this so far, the Mustangs' faults here in the first half have been from them playing a little bit soft. I mean, they're down by 9 points, 26-17 with 6 minutes left. They really need to get some big shots out. And there's a big shot as Zager shows off the shooting touch, says, hey, I'm not just a slice and dicer. You got to guard me from outside.
Yeah, he's shooting 45% from beyond the three-point arc, so he can definitely shoot it.
And Birch looked like he had the steal, but he will be called for the foul. He does not like the call, but Winona will get the call for them. And speaking of Zager, he does have a starting position this year. I mean, he's really, his whole entire career, he's had the ability to be a starter. And he's really showing tonight why he deserves it. When he's in big games, in big situations, he's never afraid to pull the trigger.
That's true, and he's tied for the lead in points for the Mustangs tonight. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block in just 9 minutes. So far, a really, really good start to the game for Matt Zager.
He's got quite the stocking stuffer of stats here. As Winona's looking to try to put some points on the board to stop this Mustang comeback. Down by 6, the Mustangs are, with just under 6 minutes to go.
And Matt Zager leading the Mustangs in 3 different statistical categories. points, rebounds, and blocks.
And there's a off three, the offensive rebound by Caleb Packard, as he's been playing great all game.
Jeez. I'm saying, you know, like I said, the whole Shega says portion is SMSU has to out-rebound Winona State if they want to win, and right now they are losing that battle dramatically. 17 rebounds for Winona State, only 11 for the Mustangs.
And right there, it has nothing to do with the size of Winona State. The Mustangs are just not boxing out down low like they should be, and they're just letting players like Clayton Vetty and Caleb Packard just go over the top of them, and you cannot let Winona State go over the top of you. You have to get physical.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm seeing right now is when they go up for rebounds, I mean, you know, they have an all right position, I guess, but they're not boxing out. They're just not being as physical as you want to see from a team in such a big game.
And speaking of Packard, trying the three, and no good. I mean, Packard can shoot the three, but it's really not the shot you're looking for, as Winona kind of looked like a forced shot there. As Bernard Birch does try to take it in. Tramel Barnes taking a shot from outside, and he'll make it, cutting the lead 2-4.
What we're seeing here is the Mustangs are really having difficulty getting it down to the paint, so you know, maybe for right now they're going to want to try to try their luck on some outside shots.
Yeah, they really need to spread the floor, start knocking down some jumpers so that Winona has to guard them outside, and that way they can start getting the ball inside to Nick Smith and David Condon when he does come into the game.
Still a close game here with about 4 minutes left to go in the first half. 26-22. Warriors are up on the Mustangs.
And there's a very forced shot. Very well defended. Matt Zager putting some pressure on Taylor Cameron.
Nice pass.
And Nick Smith with a wide open shot, and he'll try to take it and get fouled. Pulling a little Kobe Bryant move, getting his defender in the air and jumping right into him.
You know what? Not to be too critical here, because Nick Smith, I mean, that was a great, you know, he took a dribble, kind of waited a moment and went up, and that's great. That's a great move, but what I didn't see, he didn't even seem to really want to try and get the and one there. He didn't even seem to really want to try to get it in the bucket, just kind of, you know, threw it up, which is all right, smart move, but still, you gotta just be a little bit more physical here if you're the Mustangs.
And we'll have a timeout called. The score, 26-22. Winona State on top with about 4 minutes to go for KSSU. This is Mustang basketball.
If you've had a stroke,
welcome back to the RA facility as Nick Smith is on the line for SMSU. The score 26-22 with SMSU down to Winona State with about 4 minutes to go in the half as Nick Smith goes to shoot his first shot after being fouled.
And he's shooting 61% on the season. Makes that one though.
And 61%, not that great, especially seeing his last year he shot about 78%.
Yeah, it's quite a
from
drop
the free throw line. That's a huge drop off statistically.
You want to hear some good news though? SMSU shooting 100% from the line so far.
And I mean, this year you haven't seen it as much, but SMSU does practice on their own. They don't practice free throws during practice. All the players are on each other to practice those free throws outside of practice.
I know we talked about the Mustangs. They have such a difficult time closing out in games, but last night, before some of the players came in for garbage time, they'd only missed one free throw last night. And so that's definitely going to come up huge here if the game is as close as we think it probably will be.
And Jordan Miller taking the ball inside and putting it up. He was wide open on that shot. It looked like he just outstepped his defender. Sometimes you take that first step and you can just burn right past him. And a big foul down low as Xavier Humphrey went in for the shot. Looked like David Condon kind of hammered him to the ground, so a good foul by David Condon.
Exactly, and that's the kind of physical play that we want to see. You know, you got to make them think twice about going in there. You know, even if they go up, and even if they have that little hesitancy, like, yeah, this might hurt a little bit, might be enough to get them to miss it in a late game situation. So
exactly, and
I
mean,
like that foul.
David Condon, great defense on the last play as well, but he was going against Clayton Vetty, who is a senior. And David Condon, I mean, he's brand new to the game, just started playing this year for SMSU. you really can't fault him. He is a freshman. There wasn't much he could have done.
It's true. Still a close game here, 28-26. Mustangs down 2 with 3:28 remaining in the first half. And as you're seeing here, the Mustangs shooting slowly creeping back up here. 60% from the three-point line, 44% from the field. So not a great start to the game, but they're definitely shooting better here as the game's going on.
And you really have to keep an eye on that three-point stat because the Mustangs are notoriously good and have been good for the last 3 or 4 years from the three-point line. As William Giddens tries a three-pointer, and it looks like Jordan Miller will pick up the rebound.
And just kind of fell right into his lap there.
But, I mean, they have been notoriously good from the three-point line. We don't really have to worry about their outside shooting. It's really about getting the ball inside as they only have one real true center in Nick Smith.
A little bit of confusion initially with that play call.
And Jordan Miller just takes the ball right back in. A little off on the shot, but you like the idea, trying to get the ball inside as Winona comes right back. Grant Johnson putting up the shot, excuse me. And Tramel Barnes will come take the ball back up for the Mustangs. The Mustangs will try to set up the play. Giddings looking inside for Nick Smith, finding no one. As Barnes tries to drive, gets swatted, and Winona will take the ball back up the court on the fast break. And Humphreys with a great shot, and we'll have a timeout by Bigler. He wants some time to talk to his team after Winona goes on a quick run. 33-26 with just over 2 minutes to play. For Mustang basketball, this is KSSU.
Will I always be working weekends just to stay out of debt?
Is a great college for our kids?
Out of the question?
Is the American dream
Out of our reach?
Not if we can help it. We're the National Endowment for Financial Education, a non-profit organization dedicated to helping people just like you get smart about their money. Log on to smartaboutmoney.org today and start taking control of your financial life.
Welcome back to the RA facility as the Mustangs trail Winona State 33-26 with just over 2 minutes to play in the game. Mustangs really having some trouble controlling the fast breaks by Winona State.
Also having trouble controlling Clayton Vetty right now, number 44. Shooting 50% from the field, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 15 minutes, 13 points. So he's playing well. They're going to have to try to contain him here as the game goes on.
And let's not forget Clayton Vetty with a 3 tonight, really showing that you have to guard him absolutely everywhere on the field. And Bernard Birch trying to reset up the play out against this Winona defense as they do a good job of collapsing. The outside pass to Zagers. He tries to shoot up a 3, and it's no good. Winona comes back the other way and gets a nice shot. Grant Johnson been really good on the fast break tonight.
I'll tell you, there's 5 turnovers so far in the night from Southwest, and it's 11 points off turnovers for Winona State, so they're really making them pay.
And Zager trying to drive, but finding absolutely nothing. Mustangs working the ball around, trying to find an open shot against a stifling defense by Winona State. And a wild shot by Nick Smith, picked up by Birch, and he'll put it in for 2.
And they had to do some damage control here because they had to stop the bleeding. It was getting a little bit out of hand. Right now the lead is 7. And you got to think they want to try to cut that down to at least under 5 here before the end of the half.
And we are under just 1 minute to play. Score 35-28 as SMSU is down by 7. As Winona State tries to find a niche in the defense of SMSU, and they find it. That's a big shot inside. Taylor Cameron hits a nice layup over the Mustang defenders.
20 to 35 points for Winona State have been in the paint too, so they're having some great success down low.
And just under 30 seconds to play, SMSU trying to get some last points before they go back to the locker room. Jamel Barnes holding the ball up top. Birch finding no defensive struggle, and here's outside. Zager passes up the 3.
Smith was wide open down low.
5 seconds on the clock. And Barnes will take a forced 3, and it'll be off the mark with 4 seconds to go. And Jordan Miller with a last-second shot. And the rebound will go to Zager, and Zager will miss the second last-second shot. As we go to halftime, the score is 37-28. SMSU down by 9 going into the half.
Let's see. Yep, it is going to be. Nope, actually, Matt Zager is going to be going to the line, it looks like, for the Mustangs to shoot 2 here. It's the last second foul.
Oh, my. And this is a big deal for SMSU, because if they make these 2, they go down by 7. And that's a good momentum boost going into the second half, to be able to say you got a couple more points on the board that you shouldn't have had gotten.
Yeah, the Mustangs just, the officials just put 0.3 seconds left as well, so good opportunity for the Mustangs to get some free points. Also, I want you guys to stay tuned because after their first home win of the season, the head coach of the women's team here at SMSU, Allison Kruger, is going to be joining me a little bit later on here during halftime, so we'll talk to her as well as provide some analysis of the first half. So make sure you keep it right here. And they do cut it down to a 7-point lead, do the Mustangs, and that'll do it for the first half.
Yep, and Zager, perfect from the line right there, hits both of his shots. Score 37-30, SMSU down by 7 on Winona State. We'll be back with some halftime analysis, as well as talking to Coach Kruger. For Mustang basketball, this is KSSU.
All right, and welcome back. Stephen Shega here with you, joined by the head coach of the Mustang women's team here, Allison Kruger, and you guys had an absolutely great win here tonight, 66-64 over Winona State. They were 14-5 on the season. You guys had your first win here at home tonight. Just talk a little bit about the game and how things went for you.
You know, I think our team did a great job of playing as a one unit, and that was nice to see. You know, it was really balanced scoring. We played really well on the defensive end for 40 minutes, and it was just a great team effort and a great environment to have your first home win in this season. And you know, this team they don't quit. They continue. You know, we've been through a rough season thus far, but you know, I have to give them all the credit tonight because I really kind of let them take over the game a little bit more and put a little more responsibility in their hands, and they did a great job tonight. And it's just, I'm excited for them, and especially on a night like this, so they can just go out and have fun, you know, support the men's team, and then we're back at it because unfortunately it doesn't last forever. So you got to get back on the road next weekend. So
yeah, you have to enjoy this one though. I mean, just a great win, and the crowd here was great. They were really behind you the whole way, and just a huge win for you guys. What did you say to your team after the game?
I think all you could say was just, you know, great team effort. And that's kind of, they were so excited in that locker room. And that's just it's so fun because that's the rewarding part of coaching, is watching your players when they get to have a chance like that as a team. And, you know, the environment was awesome, you know, and I wish people would understand how much that helps every single game. And, you know, it's fun to watch the students just get into it and have a good time. But overall, you know, we did what we needed to do, and we found a way to win. And, you know, Winona's was playing well, and they beat us by a lot at their place. So it was a great, you know, a great win for us. And hopefully we can use this, you know, to propel us into next weekend.
Yeah, exactly, next weekend. And you still have, you know, a decent amount of season left, and this could just kind of be like a jump start for the team. Also, I was talking about early in the broadcast, you only have one senior on your team, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, this is something you guys can take into, the rest of the season, but also even looking forward to next year as well.
Right, and that's one thing we talk about a lot. We don't want to look past any game.
Right.
You know, this year's a little different with the conference tournament at the end of the season. This is the first year that every team automatically makes it. So, you know, you're playing every game to get some momentum. You're never out until, you know, the last game in the conference tournament. If you don't win, you're out. But, you know, that's what we need to do. And we do have one senior. Unfortunately, her career is done. So we technically don't have any seniors playing.
Okay, good point, yeah.
So, you know, we need to get momentum. We need to start building for the end of this season and for next year because we have a great opportunity in front of us.
Sure. Well, thanks for joining us again. Head coach Allison Kruger. Huge win tonight over Winona State, 66-64. Stay tuned. More analysis for the first half here of the men's game. You're watching KSSU TV.
Welcome back to the RA facility where the score is currently 37-30. SMSU down versus Winona State by 7. And we're just under 2 minutes left until we get this game back on track. SMSU trying to come back. And it is Hawaiian Night, so if there's any night they'd be able to come back, this is the night. And SMSU has notoriously this year been known to be unable to close games out. Well, now they're playing down, and they're going to have to learn how to come back here.
Yeah, they certainly are. And it's still a close game. They haven't quite gotten off to the start they want, really offensively, shooting 36% from the field and just a little bit more, 38% from the three-point range. And so just not off to a great start so far offensively for them. Plus, I talked about the Shega says moment is going to really be the rebounding. And right now they're being out-rebounded 17-20 by Winona State. So they need to pick that up. The last thing I'd say they need to look out for is, again, Clayton Vett. He is the leading scorer on the season for the Warriors. He's averaging 19.5 points per game. Already has 13 so far in this game tonight to go along with 5 rebounds. So he's pretty close to a double-double already.
And honestly, one of the big things that I've really noticed is last year, that team had subs coming in on the clock around every 3 or 4 minutes. And this team, players get left in a lot longer. And they used to play really hard full court press. Haven't seen that much this year. The SMSU team that I knew last year was a pretty fast-paced team. They really like to run the floor, and they had the legs to do it because they subbed back and forth so much. This year, they've really turned that down. They become a lot more of a half-court team. And Winona, being a team that likes to run the ball, likes to get on the fast break, it's been hard for them because Winona has been able to run that fast break so effectively this game.
And we'll have to kind of see how it goes now because sorry, I was distracted there for a moment. We're going to have to see how it goes because, the Mustangs last night, they did play a lot, a lot of full court press and a lot of subs, and we haven't seen that quite so much tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's more full court press as the night goes on.
Yeah, and I mean, three-point shot right there from the corner. Xavier Humphrey getting Winona State started well with a big three-pointer, but we saw that circus shot down low for the first shot for the Mustangs by Bernard Birch, and that's not the kind of shot that they're looking for. They need to look for a wide-open shot, kind of like that one, as Jordan Miller drops down the teardrop, plus the Mustangs back down by 7.
Yeah, Jordan Miller now the leading scorer for the Mustangs on the night. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. So we're going to need to see some more Miller time from him if the Mustangs have a chance tonight.
And Miller usually, very much so, the leading scorer for this team. And they really look for him for leadership. Him and Lavion West. We've talked a lot to Bigler, and Coach Bigler really says Lavion West and Jordan Miller are the big voices on this team and really keep this team online and on track.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a crucial few minutes here for the Mustangs. Down by 9. They can't let the game get away from them here earlier on in the second half.
And Jordan Miller trying to come back the other way.
Got his own rebound, put it back up, got fouled, and he's going to the line.
And that's Jordan Miller's style. I mean, he's either shooting crazy three-pointers from half court, or he's getting in down low where he can get his easy layups. And he's a tall and a lengthy guy, and it's really hard to guard him when he goes driving into the lane.
Yeah, it sure is. He's someone who can finish around the rim. Also, you have obviously Bernard Birch. He's the other player who can really finish around the rim. So between the two of them, I think we're going to see them trying to get into the lane a little bit more, finish down low, and then kind of move their way out and start shooting as the game progresses.
And Jordan Miller, easily one of the best free throw shooters that the school has ever seen.
Yeah, 88% so far in the season for him.
Dropping both easily. As Winona State tries to find an opening on the right side, finding nothing, and they'll work it back around. Then they'll work it down low to their bread and butter, their inside game, and Mustangs able to keep them from scoring, so this is a good chance for the Mustangs to get some points on the board, stop the hemorrhaging, start to make it back into this game. As Bernard Birch takes a strange shot. He's not usually a big shooter. He doesn't like to shoot the ball unless it's a layup, and he missed that shot and then had to go back down the other way, and he drew a foul. Or he got the foul.
Fouls on the Mustangs, number 12.
And that's going to be on number 12, Bernard Birch.
And that's not someone you want to see getting fouls down low, especially on a bigger guy like Taylor Cameron, who easily towers over him. It wasn't really a good foul. It looked like more of a frustration foul. Like he was mad that he missed his last shot. He missed a jumper, by the way, which is not his style of play. He likes to slice and dice, get it in there, try to make the layups, and he really wasn't sticking to his style of play.
Taylor Cameron misses both. He's the best free throw shooter actually on the season for the Warriors, shooting 87%, but didn't make one there.
Jordan Miller numbers right there for the free throw. Unfortunate for the Warriors, they didn't go in, but they did get the ball back. So they'll look to try to make that up here. And Condon getting big down low. Nearly stopping the points by Vetti, but he cannot be stopped.
Yeah, he really can't be. 5 of 9 tonight, and then shooting 100% from beyond the arc. So he's having a great offensive night thus far.
And we'll see West trying to get inside. Finds nowhere to go. Barnes a rare inside shot, and the ball will get tapped out, and West will pick it up.
West doing some ball handling out there, not something you're accustomed to seeing.
He really likes to either drive or give the ball away. And Miller getting swatted, gets the ball out of Giddings, but
just a poor decision. He had a man open in the corner, should have just tossed it out right away.
He tried to get fancy with it and got the ball blocked, but they catch a lucky break on the other side of the ball as Winona just gives it away. And Barnes will try to get the ball rolling for the Mustangs. And West drawing a foul, and that's his style of game. We saw in the California tournament that they played at Disney World, or Disneyland, I should say, this year. West actually had, I believe he tied a school record free throws shot in a game, and he made 100% of them.
Jeez.
I believe it was 17. I believe it was 17.
Well, he's shooting 74% of the season, and he makes that one there.
Which is way, way up, because last season, I believe he shot 62% from the line.
Well, that's definitely an improvement then.
Huge statistic. Almost making up for Nick Smith's sudden downgrade from his free throw shooting, but he's really doing great from the line tonight. He just made 2 for 2 here, trying to cut the lead down, 44-37 for SMSU.
And still, it's been hovering right around the 7-8 point lead here for the Warriors since halftime began. So, got to start cutting into it here if you can, if you're the Mustangs. But still, reasonable amount of time left, obviously, and not too huge of a lead. You can definitely overcome this.
And a little disheartening, the Mustangs try a full court press, kind of bringing us back to their old days. And they just burned by the Mustangs, and Vetti gets it down low and puts in a 2-pointer.
Yeah, they just don't have an answer for Vetti at this point. 17 points for him, and they really need to, I think, start to consider double teaming him perhaps. But Nick Smith's like, hey, I'm a big man, I can score too.
Nick Smith, wearing the same exact number as Vetti, comes in and says, anything you can do, I can do better. Puts it in, wanted the foul. I believe it looked like there was a foul on it, but no call. And Winona will bring it right back up the floor.
Don't quit your day job. You don't have it as a singer, I gotta tell you.
I mean, I think I was a little bit off key, but I think the American Idol judges would consider me for a spot to Hollywood.
Yeah, if they were deaf.
I mean, Nicki Minaj is one of the. But anyways, back to basketball. West goes in, a no-look pass inside. Oh, Nick Smith blocked after the no-look pass. That was a great pass inside by West.
Yeah, see, and here's the problem with this, though. Even though they were able to get the ball back, here's that Nick Smith. He had about 2 seconds there. We kind of looked at the refs, held his arms out, and then got back on defense. In a game of this magnitude against a nationally ranked opponent, you don't have time to complain. You just have to keep going, just run down the floor and try to get back right away.
And speaking of not complaining, as we go into the timeout, Jordan Miller, star player, taking charges, showing why he's a captain. And we'll go to the break. Down by 7, 46-39. SMSU is down by Winona State. Here for Mustang basketball, this is KSSU.
626,000 investors, That's how many people SIPC has helped since 1970.
Over $15 billion.
That's how much SIPC has made it possible for investors to recover.
SIPC.
That's the Securities Investor Protection Corporation.
An investor's first line of defense in the unlikely event that a brokerage firm fails.
SIPC, for real people, like me.
And you.
And we're back in the RA facility. The Mustangs down 46-39 against Winona State as they try to get some points here on their latest possession. Barnes in the corner, gets it back up top to Giddings. Giddings trying a fancy move up top. Gets the ball back out to Barnes. Barnes will shoot a jumper and he'll knock it down.
Yeah, Barnes, not someone who you're going to see take a whole lot of jump shots. Not necessarily the best shooter, but he definitely is smart, picks and chooses battles, and that's why he's shooting 49% from the field on the season.
And that was a great shot right there, was wide open, knew he had to take it and knocked it down. That's very good play coming from a senior veteran guard. And Winona State trying to find any way they can get it down low, but they just shoot a three-pointer. Grant Johnson has been having a heck of a night tonight, and I believe that's his 8th point on the night.
Yeah, he's 4 or 6 from the field, so he's definitely shooting pretty consistently here so far in the game.
And here's the fast break as Xavier Humphrey brings it back down and gets another layup. And the lead is now at 9.
You got to think that here in a moment, if the Mustangs aren't able to score in this possession, it might be time for a timeout here by Coach Brad Bigler.
And there's no go. Jordan Miller trying to lay up inside. A little bit of a hook shot. I mean, he can make those kind of shots, but just didn't fall for him that time. Winona working the ball around. Vetti not down in his down low spot. And the ball lost by Xavier Humphrey.
Brad Bigler imploring his team to hurry up in the fast break. It didn't quite happen.
And we'll see some half-court basketball as they get it down low. Nick Smith looks to back down.
See, and that's just, you have to talk on offense. You have to let Nick Smith and other guys coming. Turned right into him, didn't even see it coming.
And there's another shot by Grant Johnson, playing outstanding basketball for Winona State. And that last steal by Jordan Fisher, you really got to let Nick Smith know that he's coming. He had no idea.
Yeah, and it's now an 11-point lead. That's the largest of the night for the Warriors.
And Nick Smith comes down with the basketball after a quick shot by Lavion West, and that's not really a shot that the Mustangs wanted to take. It just kind of looked like Lavion West was getting anxious and decided to shoot something up.
And Nick Smith just looks gassed right now, too. He's just upset, and you can tell he's already played 21 minutes in the game. He's just tired.
Jordan Miller with the big fake, but still can't get the basket to go in. He takes a charge, and they will call it. That's a great play. That's his second charge of the game, showing why he is a veteran on this team and the team's leader, both on offense and on defense and in the huddle.
And Jordan Miller, that's just a veteran play. Really, really smart play by him. Because at this point, you're down by 11, largest lead of the game for the Warriors, and you have to do something to try to get some momentum back. And smartly here, Nick Smith goes out. He is just gasping for air as he came out and walked by me here a moment ago. So, again, Condon, number 40, back in the game. See if he can get some physicality down low.
And Condon's been playing good defense, the best he really can on Vetti, but he really looks a little hesitant and nervous. But, someone who does not look nervous, Lavion West taking it in, draws the foul.
And he'll go all the way around the rim there, too.
That was the definition of a toilet bowl ball.
Just saw Ellen Degler, too, who was a key part of the women's win. She's here on the sidelines as well, and she is pumped up trying to cheer on the men. So great crowd support here. Now the Mustangs just need to do their part, give the crowd someone to cheer for.
Mustangs either need to go on a little bit of a run here or get some big electrifying play. Of course, I'm thinking a Jordan Miller to William Giddings for a dunk, of course. That's what I'm thinking. But anything to get this crowd going, that'll really help swing the momentum.
And I have to tell some people in the crowd here, thank you. I just heard a chant that was my last name, so that was fun. Appreciate that.
Stephen Shega getting a little bit of love from the crowd. And Winona State trying to get some more points on the board as they try to get their lead back up after being cut down to 9. And the ball will be swatted away by Giddings. It looked like it went off of Jordan Fisher, but they'll say it went off of Giddings. And Winona will get the ball right back. And the ball will go outside to Grant Johnson as they try to reset up a play. Looking down low, further down low game. And Winona State resetting up the play with 8 seconds left on the clock. Johnson has a mismatch and tries to shoot over Birch, but unable to come up with the ball. And that'll be a foul on Jordan Fisher on the rebound.
And this is an opportunity here for the Mustangs. You know, you're at the point of the game now with 12 minutes left that you really have to be careful and just really try to be smart with every single possession, because it's going to matter now. If you're going to really try to get this lead down from 9, have a shot, you really got to start whittling away right now.
And you're against a really good team who's not.
It's true. Yeah, this isn't any slouch of a team at all. I mean, they're nationally ranked. There's Condon.
Condon back outside, not looking for a shooting. And Miller will get fouled. He made the shot, but I think they're going to call it on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and they will call it on the ground. Jordan Miller's upset because he made an absolute circus shot. Crazy looking. That would go on the ESPN top 10
yeah,
for sure.
That was impressive.
And Birch comes right back. It says, Jordan Miller, I got you. Here's your layup right back. And Mustang cut it down to a 7-point lead.
All it takes is just a stop or two here, and they're right back in it. And remember, their issue all year has been closing games, so right now they just got to close the gap and then try to close it out. A lot of work left to do.
And Winona really trying to work it down low. That's a great way to buy time off the clock especially. And they're naturally very gifted down low. And a big block by Tremel Barnes, showing that he can play defense as well as knock down those wide open jumpers. And he gets it to Miller, who's looking to drive in. Shoots up a floater, kisses off the glass. Jordan Miller knocking it down for the Mustangs. The lead is now 5 for Winona State. Mustangs coming right back into this game.
That's a... and the head coach for the Warriors is not pleased right now. You better be careful. He's going to get teed up.
Mike Leaf getting exasperated with the team. That's a really good timeout by him because he can try to get his team calmed down, because right now they're letting the Mustangs play their game. They're letting the Mustangs get their shots inside. And really what you got to do as the Warriors is try to stay calm. Just play your game. Get it inside to your big men, because that's what you've been doing all game, and it's been working for you.
Yeah.
They've started taking a little bit of wild shots. The Mustangs have been coming up with the rebounds. You just got to let your players play their game and not get wrapped up in the Mustangs game. But the Mustangs doing a really good job of playing their game and getting back into this game.
Yeah, Jordan Miller, especially here in the last minute or two, he's been fantastic. He has 12 points here, 4-10 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. So, I mean, he's really been an integral part. And the thing is, too, Jordan Miller, it was an 11-point lead at one point. You saw Jordan Miller take a charge when everybody else was aghast, and now all of a sudden, only down by 5. So, really showing his senior leadership here, Jordan Miller.
And there's really 3 things that really get a crowd and a team excited. 1 is a dunk, 2 is a big 3, and the last one is taking charges.
Absolutely.
If you take a big charge, you get a big block on defense. That is just as electrifying to a team, and especially to a coach, as getting a big shot on offense. And that's really, if they want to stay in this game, they want to win this game, they got to keep playing good defense and getting their shots on offense.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, charge too, it really energizes your teammates, because I mean you're really kind of putting your body on the line, showing that you're willing to play smart. So we'll see how it goes. Another thing is Nick Smith is still out of the game. Like I said, he just gasped when he went out. So they're definitely trusting Condon here with some big minutes.
And that was a really hesitant looking shot. I mean, it was wide open, but Jordan Fisher looked a little bit scared going up with that ball.
He did.
And Birch does not look scared of the ball as he plays some fancy dribble moves down in the lane. Jordan Miller from deep, he makes the shot. It's a teardrop from outside, and the Mustangs are down by 2 now.
And Jordan Miller just having a great few minutes now, 15 points on the night. Had another rebound since we last talked as well, so Jordan Miller is just taking over this game for the Mustangs.
Absolutely putting the team on his back on defense and offense, and that's what you want to see from your star player. Grant Johnson, though, just not going away. Honestly, he does not have the high scoring for his team. He's not scoring as much as Vetty, but I honestly believe his contribution is bigger tonight than Vetty's. He's really been doing everything right from a coach's point of view and from a viewer's point of view.
Sorry, who was that?
Grant Johnson.
It's loud in here. I can hear. Yeah, you're right. 12 points. He has 2 rebounds, 1 assist, but even more so, yeah, it's just the things that he's been doing, kind of the intangibles. There's things that don't show up in the stat sheet, and he's really playing well.
And I mean, what you really look for is not for your best player to play well, because you know they're going to get your points in. But when the surrounding cast is having a good game, that's when you know your team is running. Your team is playing well, and they're working within the mechanics of a system. And right now, Winona State is doing that. The Mustangs having a good comeback, but they still have to overcome some of these little turnover problems that they're having and defensive lapses.
Nick Smith back in the game, by the way, for Condon. Looking a little bit more energized than last time.
And Vetty down low, double team, doesn't care, puts it right over Nick Smith, and he's looking to Brad Bigler like, oh, I'm sorry, coach, I couldn't do anything about that.
Yeah, you know what? I have to tell you, I'm not trying to harp on him, but I haven't been impressed with Nick Smith tonight. He was late getting his hand up there. He should have already had it up before the shot went off. You know, you got to just plant your feet, put your arms up, and get in the way. And now he's just moping on the way back. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from Nick Smith tonight.
And Nick Smith kind of looked tired on that play too, as Jamel Barnes throws the ball straight to Kellen Taylor, who steals it away, and Grant Johnson will bring it back up the floor. Honestly, Nick Smith didn't even have his hands up after the shot. He looks tired out there.
He really, really does.
And the shot is off, a floater by Kellen Taylor, and there will be a jump ball. And I believe that should go to the Mustangs.
Jump ball, Mustangs.
And it will go to the Mustangs. So a 6-point lead for Winona State, 56-50 with 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go. Plenty of time in this game. I honestly believe that Nick Smith needs to come out because
I was going to say that too. His body
I think that Condon is playing the better defensive game right now.
It's true. He's playing with more energy, playing with more passion, and just the body language from Nick Smith I'm not enjoying. I hate to be too critical, but he's just not looking too great here so far.
And there's a missed shot by Nick Smith. Jordan Miller almost lost it in the lane, managed to get back his handle, but Nick Smith not able to finish the play as Winona State tries to bring this lead back up to 8 or 9. And honestly, I think if Winona State makes this, that's a big demoralizer.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a Mustang, knowing that you cut that lead down and it's right back to where it was.
Yeah, this is going to be a big possession here for the Mustangs. They got to just get tough. And here we go, 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Nice defense that time by Nick Smith.
And that was perfect defense. You have to give credit to Xavier Humphrey because he stayed calm and shot that shot exactly how a coach would want it.
Yep.
Perfect arc. He had no fear. He didn't seem to hesitate at all. He had a great line at the basket, just didn't fall for him.
And we talked about it a moment ago here. Now Nick Smith coming back out. He did have good defense on that last possession, but my guess would be they're probably going to rest him here for a while. Maybe put him in once more towards the end of the game as well.
I'm assuming he'll come back in around the 3:30,
yeah, you would think
3-minute mark, which is exactly where they need to put him in. Condon's playing better D right now, and you need to keep him in.
Yeah, 56-50, the Warriors lead. Chance here for the Mustangs to cut it down to 4 or 3.
And Jordan Miller not in for the Mustangs right now, so you'll have to look to someone else to step up, and I think that man will be Lavion West.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Lavion West or Will Giddings.
And Bernard Birch trying a spinning layup and just not making it that time.
You know, we all appreciate that he's driving the lane, but it's between 2 big men. So he can never really finish down there, but just a tough shot. Here we go, Condon.
Condon on Vetty. Looked like good D by Condon, but I believe Matt Zager got a reach in. No, they're going to call it on Condon. And Vetty will go to the line for 2. As a Mustang, you just kind of have to hope he misses these because these are a big momentum turner, these free throws.
Yeah, with that 4th foul now, Nick Smith's coming back in, and I got to tell you, I'm looking at him right now as he's coming in. He is still just gasping for air. Some kind of walk up and shaking his head. I think he would have liked a longer rest than that, but at this point, Mustangs just can't afford it.
And that's a big problem. You have 2 extremely good centers. And Clayton Vetty, as he makes his first free throw. in Clayton Vetty and Caleb Palkart. And I mean, Caleb Palkart, not a true center, but he is a great forward, and he does come in and play that center position. And both of them are extremely good on defense, and as you can see, great on offense. And it's hard for a team that only has one true center to play defense on them. And the Mustangs are showing they're really showing the effects of that right now.
Yeah, Vetty now with 21 points on the night to go along with 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and Mustangs just don't have an answer for him. Still plenty of time here, 58-50, but Mustangs need to kind of find some momentum they had just a little while ago.
And Giddings taking a nice drive in, stopping the clock, and getting to the line. Now this is the kind of play they need. They need to get to the line. You need to get that clock stopped so you can get some points on the board and get back into this game. You just have to capitalize on those free throws. Yeah, well, we saw Giddings earlier in the game. He started out pretty well, but he's been pretty quiet so far, only 3 points. So right now with, Nick Smith pretty tired and Jordan Miller out of the game, I think you got to look to Will Giddings to score some points here. He's your best 3-point shooter, so he's got to take a few shots, I would think. And Giddings missing the 1-and-1, and Winona coming up with the ball. Clayton Vetty will take it from inside. He gets it back out as he got triple teamed, which is maybe what the Mustangs need to do. Nick Smith, that's good defense by Nick Smith. That's great defense by Nick Smith. There's nothing he can do. I mean, he was defending Taylor Cameron, not known really for his post play, but a good shot by Taylor Cameron. And there's a timeout by Brad Bigler. We'll take it too. Score 60-50. Mustangs down by 10 points on Winona State. For Mustang basketball, this is KSSU.
Southwest Minnesota State University, where private school atmosphere meets public school cost. Programs like culinology, agronomy, and environmental science set the standard nationwide, where grad placement rates are over 97%. And the school invests in you, putting over $80 million back into the university. Southwest Minnesota State University, where you belong.
We're back in the RA facility as the score is 60-50 with Winona State on top of the Mustangs. With just over 6 minutes to go, Mustangs really looking to slow this game down, get some free throws, and get back into this game. And if anybody is going to be making the free throws or going to make the big shots, I think it's Jordan Miller.
Yeah, well, we saw earlier in the game when they cut the lead down from 11 to 2 points, it was Jordan Miller. Started by taking the charge. From there, he went on and, had some really nice buckets. SMSU just as a team not shooting well tonight, 35% from the field. On the season, they're usually shooting 49%. Also, the other thing to keep in mind is Winona State currently shooting 48%. SMSU has not let a team shoot above 50% the whole season. So they need to get it back to what they usually do here. They got to just take some smart shots, play some tough defense. 10 minutes left here, about 6 minutes to go in the game.
And Lavion West taking it inside, getting the roll and making the basket. He had a little bit of contact. I don't think it was too much, but he still managed to make it without drawing the foul. A little disappointing. I thought maybe he could have got the foul on there, but he did get the 2, and that puts the Mustangs back within 8 points.
That's a good start if you're the Mustangs. Got to get a stop or two, and you're right back in it.
Lavion West playing his heart out on defense. Knows this is Hawaiian Night, and this is where you make yourself a man. And there's a big shot. Kellen Taylor putting his points in for the game. I mean, he has been getting his points. He's been playing tough. He's a role player is what he is, and he's doing a lot of the dirty work. Oh, yeah. He gets ignored a little bit because he's not the big scorer like Vetty or Grant Johnson, but he's been getting his points in.
He's having a good all-around game. He has 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. I mean, that's not a bad game by any stretch.
Absolutely not, and that's why he's a starter. And Bernard Birch going to the line, trying to bring it back within 8. And he'll hit his first. Bernard Birch, through his career, fluctuated between a 70 and an 80% free throw shooter. Came in as a freshman and played. So he's a veteran. That's all you can say. He's a veteran, and he knows what he needs to do at the end of a game. And he took it in, even after getting blocked a lot, absolutely no conscience, comes in, makes both of his free throws off of a tough shot that most players wouldn't have shot.
Drew Jordan Miller back in the game, by the way. I think for the rest of the game, it's he's going to be left in. Mustangs down by 8.
Jordan Miller going to be the anchor for this team as Vetty takes a 3 and knocks it down. That's a huge shot, and hopefully not the dagger to this momentum that the Mustangs are trying to build.
Yeah, Vetty's only took 2 3-point shots tonight, made his both,
and Miller throws it away. He was looking for Zager. He thought Zager might be cutting in. Zager was standing out on the wing, though. He actually was open, so that could have been a Zager 3. But Jordan Miller, a little presumptuous, and throws it away.
Yeah, well, it's really, it's coming down to crunch time here. Down by 11. It's the largest lead Winona State has had in the game. It equals that, and it's time for some smoldering defense there we saw by Jordan Miller.
And the Mustangs really getting tight now. And there's a double dribble by Grant Johnson, who hasn't really made a mistake all night. Turns the ball over, and this is an important possession for the Mustangs. You really want to come away with points here as we tick under the 5-minute mark. And down by 11.
Crowd's been a little bit quiet lately for a good reason, not too much to cheer about, but they're still here, so we got to think at some point the crowd's got to get involved. Mustangs got to give them something to cheer for. Nick Smith.
Oh, and that's inside to Zager, who gets blocked off the backboard. Nearly the shot that the Mustangs were looking for.
Yeah, that was a great pass by Nick Smith.
Absolutely great pass, and that was a shot you had to take. But Clayton Vetty, he's Clayton Vetty. He's not going to let you get easy buckets.
That's one of those minutes where you got to kind of maybe just pump fake for a minute, get your man up in the air, and then go up for the shot.
And Grant Johnson handling the ball, takes a jumper. Oh, and that's pretty. Absolutely perfect. He took that with no hesitation, and he'll knock it down for Winona.
The largest lead of the game here, 13 points.
And Barnes trying to take it in.
Oh,
rough shot. I mean, it was a makeable shot. He had it, it looked like it was going into the cup, but got a bad bounce. And Winona State will come right back the other way. Mustangs down by 13, 67-54 with just under 4 minutes to play in the game as Vetty has the ball inside, looks to drive on Nick Smith, passes it back out. And Johnson will set up the final shot as we tick down, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Grant Johnson will take it, and it'll be an air ball, and the Winona State puts it right back in. Jordan Fisher on the miss.
And the Mustangs just looking outmatched here in the second half. Nobody was boxing out. That's the rebound they should have had.
Honestly, the Mustangs looking a little disheartened, and they're not getting any help from the crowd. I mean, I don't mean to pull the crowd into this game, because it is the Mustangs right now who need to win it. But the crowd's got to get behind their Mustangs. Their Mustangs are losing right now, and Birch is at the line. Got to hope he gets these in right now.
Yeah, Birch on the season from the free throw line. He is shooting 77%, so not a bad percent, but these are going to be really, I mean, every possession now from here on out, defensively and offensively, is going to be absolutely crucial. If they have any chance of coming back to even make it a close game.
Birch now with 9 points, looking to make it into double figures. I believe the third player tonight for the Mustangs in double figures. And he will. So 10 points for Bernard Birch. Score 69-56. Down by 13. The Mustangs are in crunch time right now. They really need to play tough. And right now Winona State passing it around, trying to get a little bit of time off the clock. Mustangs really pressing close. Trying not to give them the free passes. Shot clock ticking down to 17. Cameron just taking the ball up top, nice and slow, taking his time. 8 seconds left on the clock, looking for a last-second shot. He drives in, takes the floater. It'll be off the mark.
That looked like over the back to me. And Jordan Miller is not happy.
And Jordan Miller, they pointed for the Mustang ball, but the other referee will come in and say Winona, as the line judge was a little unsure. And Winona will try to pass the ball in. Got a brand new shot clock. If they want, they can waste another 35 seconds, which is really big. It's more important than getting points for them right now. They got to waste time. Yeah. Exactly. if you're Mustang, you got to think it's almost time to start fouling, especially once we get towards that 2-minute mark. And Bernard Birch will do just that.
Yeah, I don't think that was an intentional foul, but Vic's a little unhappy he was called for it.
And Winona State got another chance to pass the ball in off of the foul by Bernard Birch.
This game is looking more and more like it might be out of reach here for the Mustangs.
The Mustangs got to make something happen. They've got to start fouling soon. There's still 27 seconds on the shot clock with just a little bit over 2 minutes. We're right about at 2 minutes to play. You got to start fouling if you're the Mustangs. And Winona State still just playing with the ball. They work it inside, get fouled. They're saying it's on the ground. It's on the ground. The basket will not count, but they will go to the line, and that'll be Xavier Humphrey on the shot. No, they're going to say it was a push on the shot. They're saying that he pushed the Mustang, he pushed off of the Mustang defender, and that it'll be Mustang ball.
Now there's some confusion here now with the refs. They're meeting midcourt to talk about it.
And Xavier Humphreys asking the ref exactly what the call was to make sure he understands what he did. And they put the 2 points on for Winona, but
and the crowd's starting to file out here for the Mustangs, actually, as it's 71-56.
And it looks like they're going to keep the 71 on the board. So the score, 71-56. Mustangs down by 15. That was Bernard Birch will make the shot. Bernard Birch shaking his head, a little disappointed with his team so far. Mustangs get the second one to fall. So Birch with 12 points on the evening. As Winona State will look to try to get the ball past half court. The Mustangs looking to foul. And there it'll be. Giddings smashes his face into Cameron.
He got, I don't know if he got hit, was it the face or an elbow there, but he definitely got hit hard there in the jaw.
Yeah. And he'll stay on the court. It looks like he'll be okay. Mustangs not making any substitutions so far.
Yeah,
and there's a big steal. Zager takes the ball away from Cameron. Almost makes a spinning layup off the front of the rim, and Winona will get the ball back. They'll put it down, and that'll be 2 points.
And Zager there, he had an opportunity for a moment, and you know, when you have players cutting, you got to have the presence of mind. I know you're down, but you got to just hang on for a moment and maybe, you know, cut at somebody who's going to be stopping at the three-point line. So Brad Bigler's going to take a timeout, see if there's anything they can do to try to get back in the game here. Just a minute 25.
With a minute 25 left, down by 13 for Mustang basketball. This is KSSU.
When you donate goods in response to an international disaster, it's expensive.
They have to cross the sea, pass through customs, be inspected, sorted, then finally delivered.
And often they arrive too late to help, making your good intentions feel a little empty.
There is a better way. Cash donations are fast, simple, and allow professional relief workers to purchase supplies close at hand.
Cash is best. Learn more at CIDI.org.
Welcome back to the RA facility. The score, 73-60. SMSU down to Winona State with just a minute 25 left on the clock. Mustangs trying to get the ball back, and they're going to have to start fouling here if they want to try to get back in this game.
Yeah, they've just had no answer for Clayton Vetty. He has 26 points on the night, and he's a large part of the reason that Winona State has shot 52% from the field, more than the Mustangs have allowed in any game this season.
And unfortunately, it looks like the Mustangs are going to have to foul Taylor Cameron, who is a great free throw shooter, looks like they have a foul to give, and before Winona has to go into the bonus. And they'll go right back and tag him again, so he will go to the line. Cameron, a great free throw shooter on the year. Missed his last two free throws earlier in the game. But as an 87% free throw shooter, you have to expect him to make these. And no, he misses. having a rough night from the free throw line. The Mustangs come right back with the ball. Jordan Miller for three. Way off the mark. And the Mustangs are forced to foul.
Yeah, and they're not giving up here, but with the lead 13 with only a minute left, it certainly is pretty much a done deal for the Mustangs. They played hard, but against a team that's so good, you know, it just seemed like the Mustangs had a little bit of an off night, especially offensively. They're only shooting 35% from the field. You know, other than that, they haven't really played that poorly. You know, they weren't too far off in rebounds, didn't have that many turnovers, and you know, they just couldn't get anything to foul tonight.
And Winona up by 14 with a minute 1 remaining. It's looking, barring a miracle, of course, it's looking like Winona will win this one. And he's back on the line. And Taylor hit both of his free throws, playing a great game tonight. And the score is 75-60, 15 points to make up. If you think about it, the Mustangs are going to have to hit basically 5 threes. And there's a 2, and that'll be off the mark. And Winona will pick that up. And we'll see if the Mustangs will foul. I think that they're just gonna let the time run out.
That's right. I mean, they definitely played hard tonight. It wasn't for a lack of effort on the Mustangs' part, I didn't think. Just not great shooting this evening.
Really couldn't get the shots to fall. And the Mustangs will let the clock run. We're down to 12 on the shot clock as Grant Johnson will look for a last shot for Winona State. And he won't be able to get it to go. 22 seconds on the clock. Giddings running down the court out to Barnes. Barnes will pass it to Miller. Miller will shoot the 3, and he'll be just off the mark, pretty close, but it was a, you know, over the moon kind of shot. And Winona State will win this one 75-60 here on Hawaiian Night. The Mustangs fall. Great game by the Mustangs, but unfortunately they were not able to pull it out, and Winona State will win this one. For Mustang basketball, this is KSSU. We'll be back with the post-game show in just 2 minutes.
American hero.
I want to help people. I want to make a difference. I want to get things done. Could I be a hero?
She had to apply.
I should give this a try.
There she met people who shared her passion, people who wanted to make change, people who joined AmeriCorps. They cleaned beaches, they helped wildlife. Together they served, together they made a difference. Together they were heroes.
In AmeriCorps, you can be a hero too.
Join AmeriCorps.
Ladies, are you talking to your partners
about HIV?
2 out of every 3 new HIV/AIDS cases in women are among Black women.
Get informed, get tested. Early detection can save your life. If you test positive, seek treatment from a doctor.
Join the campaign to end Black AIDS, a partnership between Abbott and the Magic Johnson Foundation. Go to WeStandWithMagic.com, get resources, and become a member.
And join today, and thank you.
Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it came to immunizations, I wanted the facts. So I carefully researched vaccines, talking to pediatricians and other experts and asking tough questions. The answer was obvious. Vaccines like those against measles and influenza are not only a good idea, they could save our daughter's life. Take the time to get the facts. Vaccines save lives.
We all have a vision of that perfect smile. But when it comes to our smile, it's not something we can draw or wait to miraculously appear. We need an orthodontist, dental specialists with 2 to 3 years of specialized education beyond dental school. Your child might be the next Picasso, so trust that brilliant smile to the right hands. Seeing an orthodontist no later than age 7 can help achieve a healthy, beautiful smile. For more information, visit braces.org.
Welcome back to the RA facility. The final score, 75-60. The Mustangs fall to Winona State. And honestly, not for a lack of effort. Here on Hawaiian Night, they played a great game, but they just couldn't get the shots to fall tonight.
Yeah, you know, they just couldn't get the shots to fall. You're exactly right. They only shot 34% from the field and only 39% from the three-point line. And, you know, one of the biggest things is they didn't have an answer for Clayton Vetty. Tonight he scored 26 points. We talked about how Nick Smith, he was just gassed all game long. You know, we saw him just huffing and puffing, and that's in large part because you just didn't have an answer for Clayton Vetty.
And I mean, when you're such an offensive base player, and let's be honest, Nick Smith mostly is an offensive player. He looks to score the basket when the ball comes to him.
Yep.
When you're used to trying to score all the time and you're playing both sides so heavily, defense and offense, you get gassed, especially for a big man. And that's what happened tonight. He got gassed, and when Condon came in, Condon, for a while, was shutting down Clayton Vetty.
He was.
And Jordan Miller was picking up the slack in points. But then when Jordan Miller got pulled from the game and Condon got pulled from the game and Nick Smith had to come back in, he was still gassed. He didn't have enough time. And I mean, they really rely on Nick Smith to play the defense as well as the offense, especially this year. He's playing a lot more defense.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't do it. I mean, against a player like Vetty, he's a great player. Shot 100% from the three-point line. It's hard to guard a player when you have to guard him on every spot on the floor at all times.
Yeah, just a rough night for the Mustangs. They just had a little bit of an off night, and that's all they needed from the 25th ranked team in the nation. So Mustangs give a great effort here on Hawaiian Night, just not able to go ahead and pull it out. Again, 75-60 is the final, and that was Winona State that took the win here on Hawaiian Night. But big thanks to everybody here for the crew up in the studio, everybody down here on cameras. Everybody did a great job, and you know, the crowd did a great job too. You saw them, I'm sure, walking by all dressed up in their Hawaiian garb. So fun game. Unfortunately, not the outcome that SMSU fans were looking for.
No, and I mean, great game played. Jordan Miller, obviously, I think has to be our player of the game.
Yeah, he did
really
his best.
Came out, shot for the most part lights out till the end of the game when he had to start forcing them up. Really took the ball to them. He was being the role model on defense, the captain that you need him to be. Has to be the player of a game. I mean, he played a great game. Nothing you can do.
Yeah, 17 points, 8 rebounds. He did everything he could do. But you know what? The Mustangs, they'll just go ahead and take this one, put it in the books, regroup, and they'll be back at it. It's a talented team. Just had an off night tonight.
Yep, so the final score, 75-60. The Mustangs fall to Winona State. I'm Spencer Mills. This is Stephen Shega. And good night.